The patrons have spoken. Dynasty Trades in 5 with some actionable advice on Eagles wide receiver A.J. Brown, who'll be age 27 in June, guys. 12 teams, Superflex, PPR 1.75, tight end premium, start 10. A.J. Brown or Brandon Aiyuk and Josh Jacobs, Scott.
Ooh, A.J. Brown's been one of the biggest fallers in the last year. He went from an elite asset to a very good asset, but for some reason has fallen, even though he was a top 6 receiver last year. It doesn't make sense. I know he started out really hot, faltered down the stretch, but he does feel like one of those guys that I do think his ceiling is capped, meaning he's not ever going to get up into the top 3, top 4 again. That's more just because there's dynasty bias. He's on the route to being the next Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs. We're give it a year or two and people are going to go, man, he can produce top 12 numbers every year, but he's not going to be valued that way. So to the trade, I am going to take the A.J. Brown side, but it's very close. I just think I can replace Josh Jacobs unless I can sell Josh Jacobs for something more flexible. I'm basically paying a big tax here just for a running back. So I guess I'll put a caveat out there, and I'm curious what Shane says. If I can sell Jacobs for something more flexible, can I get a first, even a 26? If I can, I'll take the Aiyuk in the first. But the fact that it's just Aiyuk and a running back, and that receiver I'm getting has a little volatility too. Could be traded, could have a holdout. I mean, there's things that are there that doesn't make him a perfect profile either. So I'll lean the AJB side here very slightly.
Shane, your sweet A.J. Brown or Brandon Aiyuk and Josh Jacobs?
Yeah, if I could get A.J. Brown for this, I would do this 47 times a day. I don't want to say people that are valuing Aiyuk over A.J. Brown or in the same tier are stupid, because it's not nice to call people names. So instead, I'll point out that A.J. Brown has scored over 17 points per game 3 out of the last 4 seasons. Brandon Aiyuk, someday he might hit 16 fantasy points a game. Good for him. Good for him. Try hard. I know the story will be, well, when Debo leaves, whatever. When he goes somewhere else, whatever. Difference between these two is A.J. Brown doesn't need anything to happen to continue being the monster that he is. He's got Devonta Smith there. He joined the team and said, nope, I'm the boss. You're the little brother. I'm little brother in you, and I'm taking over this role as the wide receiver 1. A.J. Brown, not particularly close. In fact, I'm going to go send out this exact offer in any league that I can, or some variation of Brandon Aiyuk and a running back.
All right, Scott, I'm going to come to you, try to get A.J. Brown out of your hands in a 12-team Superflex half PPR with a 1.5 premium for tight ends, start 9. Give me A.J. Brown. I'm going to give you 108, 205, and a 26 first.
Yeah, this kind of feels like the deal. If you could get the Josh Jacobs instead of that 205, you would be going, all right, I'll sell the elite asset here because I'm getting 3 pieces that I can play with. Man, Alan, this is a good one. This is closer than the previous one because I know I'm trading away a quote-unquote hammer in a start 9. It is half PPR, though, and I do wonder what else can I do with those picks. Could I package those picks? Shane, could I go get me here Breece Hall? Could I get close to Breece Hall with a deal like this? It is 2.5 firsts, or close to it. It is a running back, but in a half PPR, if I could go get one of those hammer running backs, could I get Jonathan Taylor and keep the 26 first? Something like that, I'd be willing to gamble on it in the half PPR format. So I think I'll lean the package here. I think there's more I can do with it, especially if I'm willing to trade 2 of those 3 pieces and either keep the 108 or the 26 first.
Does this do it for you with A.J. Brown, Shane? He's muted, right?
Let's try that again.
Are you giving up A.J. Brown for this, Shane?
No, not at all. Half point PPR, and people need to go look up how that affects the scoring. A.J. Brown's still going to be a monster in half point PPR. I am not going to get cute. You know, sometimes I get cute and I'm like, well, let me do this and let me do that, because maybe if I trade A.J. Brown for all these pieces, then I could go get me an elite piece. But wait a minute, I already have an elite piece. Why would I do that? You know, it's fun to just do things to do them, but no, I'm going to pass.
All right, Scott, you brought up Breece Hall. I'm just curious, would you do A.J. Brown for Breece Hall straight up? Which one of those do you think is the more valuable dynasty piece?
I think more valuable dynasty piece. Most people would say A.J. Brown, but in a half PPR. Again, Breece Hall is going to be very construction dependent. If I need a Breece Hall and I'm targeting a Breece Hall and I'm willing to give up an A.J. Brown to get Breece Hall, it's probably because my roster fits it. Meaning you don't also have Bijan Robinson and you're just trying to give up an elite receiver for another elite running back. Half PPR, I think it would be a very, very close deal, but I'll take Breece Hall.
All right, Shane, same question.
It's start 9. I'm going to lean Breece Hall. I'm not even going to lean Breece Hall. Let's be honest. I'm taking Breece Hall. Unless, of course, you know, put the caveat out there, my team is completely garbage and I'm not going to compete over the next 2 years. But other than that, yeah, you're taking Breece Hall in this format in a start 9.
Okay, let's go lightning round here, Scott, with a 10-teamer, Superflex PPR 1.5, tight end premium, start 10. A.J. Brown or Michael Pittman, Javonte Williams, and a 25 second.
If that's a first, I probably would still take the AJ Brown side. Just not high on Javonte Williams. The second in a 10-teamer, I'll lean the AJ Brown side pretty easily.
Shane, where you at?
Yeah, this is definition of stuff for better stuff. So I'm going to hold on to the better stuff, which is AJ Brown.